What's going on, my fellow Farmall brothers and sisters? All right, so the work has begun on the new trailer. So I'm going to flip this camera around and show you what I finally fixed. Not as bad as I thought it was. Stay tuned. Alright, so I figured I'd take advantage of some of these nice days and come out here and finally get this trailer kind of squared away and fixed back up again a little bit. So the biggest problem was, I'm going to drop a picture in right now. Alright, so you remember how this area looked right here? This bar right here? Well, you should know because I just showed you a picture. But anyway, this right here was on the front of the trailer, and you can see how bad that was twisted. Now, with that being said, it also bent this in to the point where this was touching here. This was actually hard to get straightened out to that point right there. I put a lot of heat on it, and that bar, I mean, it's thick. It's, you know, over a 1/4 inch thick. It took a lot. I had to get it pretty hot in a bunch of different places, drive a block of wood in there, and then kind of bang it around until I was able to at least get it straighter. I'm happy with how it is now, but the biggest part was getting that I-beam on the front back straight. That was definitely a job and a half. You can see, looking in here, that it's actually, well, let me go this way. Sun's kind of bright right here. You can see right there how I brought that beam back down compared to that picture. This right here was pretty much, this point here was back to about here. So in order to relieve this, because I could put heat on here all day and it's never going to get, it's going to basically just keep sucking that. And I got to move the camera down here. That sun's bright right there. It's going to just keep sucking the heat through everything else. So I'm never going to be able to get this heat localized right here to make this straight. So the easiest way was, I went ahead and I just took and I cut all the way down into where the fold was, where it was bent backwards, because like I said, this whole thing right here was back pretty far. So I made the cut, and I'll put some heat again on some certain areas, put a pipe wrench and a long leverage bar, and I'll pull this area down. And as I pulled it down, I tack welded it when this, you know, got in the place where I wanted it, put a little bit more heat, brought it down here, and then started welding through here. Yes, I still got to finish doing the welding. I haven't completed it. It got dark on me last night when I at least got this thing down and got it straight. But I'm happy that I got it down and got it where it's supposed to be. So my whole plan is now, this piece of angle that I have right here. So what I'm going to do is pull these deck boards up. And then once I cut this to length on both sides, so I know it's the length that I want, I'm going to go ahead and notch this out. So that way this beam, or this actually channel will drop down flat onto here. And then I'm going to weld it underneath all the way. So this will be the new top surface. The reason why I want this as the new top surface is because, for one, I wanted a wider area to mount my winch plate on. And two, I'm going to go ahead and build a new bar that comes up, goes across and drops down for me to put my lights and everything on there, and then keep from tractors going over the front and all that good stuff. So I wanted a wider base, something wider than the 2-inch that I had. So that's why I'm using this. But I couldn't use this until I got this straight, because it was twisted up so high from the front, it would have looked awful. This whole thing would have just curled up in the air on this end. So I'm actually quite happy with how it came out. That was like the worst part of the whole trailer, was that piece right there. And I actually got it straight, so that's all I'm worried about. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut this off. Then I'm going to 45 these back a little bit. Then I'm going to take a grinder and round all the corners. And I'm going to do the same here. I'm actually going to cut this off a little bit more, round all these to knock the sharp edges off. So that's today's plan, to do that, get the winch plate mounted and everything on here. And then I'm going to start working my way back. And next I'll probably go ahead and cut off these steps and weld on the new steps. I'm going to fabricate some arms. These are the wide ones. I'm not using the wide ones. So basically I'm going to use like these right here. And that's going to be the new step going up. So that'll actually work out really nice. Then once I get the steps done, then I'm gonna jump on over here. I'm gonna cut this diamond plate loose because I have the diamond plate right here. We're gonna cut these loose. I'm gonna put on 1/4" diamond plate instead, so it's a lot heavier and a lot thicker. Get these 2 areas done, get both these finished. Then I'm gonna work my way back here and build new ramps. After that, it's pretty much paint the trailer, rewire it, put the new lights and everything in everywhere, clean up the rims, paint the rims, and put on my toolbox and wire up the batteries and everything. That's pretty much it. And this trailer will look just as good as what the other one did. Well, then I gotta put on my Hudson decals on. So I'm not gonna do a whole ton of video footage on this. I might do a little bit just to kind of show the, you know, transformation of going from what it was to where it's going to be. But other than that, follow along, check out the pictures, and let's get this trailer looking good again. So anyway, all right, well, stay tuned, and I'll just keep throwing some pictures in here.
Are you ready?
All right, my friends, we're out here on day 2. So yesterday I got the beam welded all the way across, and now you see the deck is nice and straight across there. Got the new bar up, and I went ahead and I gusseted it a little bit right here with some like 2x4 channel, tubing, just to make sure that this thing was nice and rigid. And I tell you, she's solid. And then I went ahead and fabricated the new steps, and as you saw in the pictures before this part of the video, you saw what the old steps, it was like a stirrup style step that was over there. I didn't like that, so I went at steps like this. I went ahead and I did matching steps on both sides. This one's painted black, so it's a little more incognito, but you can see the step tread much wider. And then same thing, gusseted it up to the frame. So now if I want to step up, all I gotta do is grab a hold of here, put your foot on there, and up, easy as can be. So it's much better. Definitely nicer having a wide step. So today, well, yesterday and also my grinder burned up in the midst of cutting these off. So I got a couple of these cut, and then the grinder went kaput. So, you know, for the amount of hours I had on that grinder from all those step buildings and the other trailer and everything else, it actually isn't bad. So far all the channel seems to be okay. Obviously it's just a heavy rust that's on the top, but I'm going to grind that off like I did over here. This is the only one so far that had an area that was eaten through, so I went ahead and I welded an extra strip of diamond plate that I had on there just to support that one. But other than that, everything else is just scale. There's nothing through so far that I've found, so that's good. But I tell you, if I wouldn't have done this and I wouldn't have stripped this deck, as you see there, it probably would have started rotting through eventually, because, you know, it's scaling pretty heavy. Not heavy to the point where I'm worried right now, but I would have been if I didn't do this right now. So, if anything, just like the tractors, this kind of saved the trailer, because, like I said, any further just would have ruined the trailer. So today's plan is finish cutting these off of here, and I got the diamond plate right there, so I'm going to cut that in half, and then it's going to be a one piece instead of this 2-piece that they did there. And that diamond plate over there I believe is 1/4 inch, and I think this is only like 1/8 inch. It's thin. I'm not sure why they decided to go so thin on a on the top of the deck, you know, where the tire's going. It really didn't make any sense. Anyway, so after I get done pulling those off, I'm going to go ahead and cut all the heads of these bolts off right here and get all these bolts off of there, grind everything down. I'm probably going to go ahead and unpin back here, and I'm going to go ahead and see if I can attempt to get this tube out of here. I don't think I'm going to get it out in one piece, but I'm going to attempt to. And then get the ramps off of there. Once I get the ramps off, honestly, it's going to be putting those treads back down and then sanding everything so I can go ahead and get it ready for paint, because right now the weather has been nice. I want to get this thing in some black paint before the weather starts getting really bad. So anyway, so that's the plan. So, and there's all the shit from the deck. I tell you one thing, I hate tearing up deck boards off trailers. They are such a pain in the ass, especially with those the star screws, the steel self-tapping star screws that they use, and then half the time they snap off. You can't get them out anyway. Half the time you can't get the bit into the head. It's a pain. I end up just finally just yanking the boards and just pulling them through, which is why you see them like this now. And it's just going to be easier to go in there, excuse me, with the cut-off wheel and just hold on to these and just cut each one off. That's what I started doing up there, and it was way easier. So anyway, I'm going to get cracking. And then next time I'll bring this video back up, hopefully everything should be welded in place, maybe ground down. And I guess this week I'll start fabricating these ramps in the shop, because I'm going to do them at a 4-inch channel. Same thing, I'm going to do the bar across here instead of the chain to hold these things a little more rigid. And after that, it's staining the deck boards, getting the deck boards back on, putting the lights on, the decals on, and this trailer's ready for some hauling. Because I tell you, I got my eye on a couple tractors, so we need to get this thing done, because I'm kind of looking to haul a couple here. So anyway, all right, enough jibber jabber, time to get working. So stay tuned, and this will probably follow a series of pictures, and then I'll follow up with a video at the end of this one. Okay, so this is probably about, in total, the 4th day working on this trailer. I did a lot of scraping and a lot of work. I got pretty much all the rust off. All I gotta do now is do the axles, the drums, the axles, the backing plates, and springs. The whole trailer has been de-rusted. So it's been a lot of work. I'll tell you, Deckover trailer, doing basically 2 frames, takes a lot of work, that's for sure. But this trailer actually is coming out really nice for as bad as it was. I got the new diamond plate tops on, nice and solid, no rust. And what I decided to do was, instead of welding these back down, I decided to go ahead and use carriage bolts. I ordered stainless. They're on their way, so these are just sitting there for now. But I bolted these down, because that way, I don't think these are ever going to rust through in my lifetime, because these are a lot thicker than what the other ones were. But if anything were to happen to them, or if for some weird reason I needed more access up under the fender well, which I very seriously doubt, I can just unbolt these, and I don't have to cut all those welds. Because I tell you one thing, these welds were an absolute nightmare to cut off of these things. They were pretty much, I don't know, every 8 inches all the way down, and trying to get all those cut. Wow, I'll tell you one thing, I was hating life by the time I finally got to that side, knowing I still had that whole tread to go. But this was a nightmare. I'm trying to think what the worst part was really on this whole trailer so far. I mean, I would say they actually ranked up there to close to #1 as far as probably the worst. But all in all, this trailer wasn't a bad project. I mean, for something that was pretty much, you know, the scaling and the rust and everything that was on the frame was pretty bad, and I thought it was going to be all the way through. But as you see, the frame rails and all came out really good. The whole trailer actually came out really good. It actually starting to look like a new trailer again. So, let's see, what else did I do? Yeah, well, you saw I welded the bar up for the front. That actually looks much better. Look how nice and straight that is. I mean, honestly, you almost couldn't even tell that the front of this trailer was hit and destroyed in that front corner. Yeah, I put a lot of work and time into straightening and doing everything I could do. Cutting that I-beam and everything there, but it was worth it. Got the spare tire mount for it, and decided to put the spare tire inside here, because this was just dead space, not being used for anything. That came off of Amazon. That's for 6 lug. I went ahead and I drilled it and painted the bolts black. But as you see the mount, I mean, it actually works pretty good. It's not going to go anywhere, that's for sure. Mounted my toolbox. I had to put a board under the back, give my box a slight tip just to keep these hinges and everything from clearing my cables, because they were pretty close on this one. But it worked out good. Inside here, I stripped all this down, got all the rust out of it, sprayed rust reformer on it, and then I actually used truck bed liner, and I actually sprayed this with a truck bed liner. So now if any water sits or stands, it's just going to be whatever until it dries. And I did drill 4 holes on all 4 corners and 1 dead center underneath the box. So if any more water comes in here, at least it won't puddle and hold, it'll drain. But yeah, everything actually came out good. I like the idea when I decided to gusset this, because I mean, she's strong. Now I'm not going to go tying a winch to this thing and cranking a trailer up. That's what I got that for. But I tell you, if you got to tie anything down, or if I'm hauling the Super 8 to a show and I don't want to have any rocks or anything chip up from the back wheels of my truck, worst case, I could strap a damn tarp to this thing if it's a short run. I don't want to be like a kite going down the road. But anyway, I could put something on the front of this, and that'll keep the rocks from coming back and hitting the A or the 300, because that's getting ready to come in the shop as soon as this trailer's done. I did cut the stirrup steps off here, as you saw in the one video, and that's how they look all painted. They actually came out really nice. And again, I kind of made those uniform on the front by doing 2 of them, as you see, so it kind of balances that trailer out. But yeah, everything came out good. So today's project is I'm going to go ahead and get the junction box back up, the brake controller back on. I'm going to get all the marker lights put on, tied in. I'm not going to worry about the winch as of yet, but I want to get all the lights done, because I can actually just get inside here and just wire everything up from here without having to go under the trailer. So I'm going to go ahead and get that done. And then get the axles stripped, cleaned up, get these painted. And after I get all that done, I'm ready to put the deck boards down. And I did, actually I'll show you the back too. The back actually came out really nice to this trailer. Just came out clean. Okay, one spot was over there. Excuse me. I'm not really sweating that spot in that corner right there. I could have fixed it. I should have fixed it. I just didn't feel like fixing it. It's whatever. I went ahead and the chunks of the rust that was in there, I knocked them out. So, and then I sprayed it with the rust reformer. That spot is good enough. I'm not stressing it. I did get the 3rd brake light underneath there straightened out. That was smashed all the way up. It was fun trying to get that bent back down. I went from behind, cut the welds a little bit, just enough to relieve it, bent it in place, re-welded it. So that should be good to go. Still got to make the ramps. I'm trying to get all the outside work done while it's cold, and then I'll start the ramps. But anyway, here's all the deck boards. It started pouring down raining yesterday, so I got these 2 started. It started raining so bad I had to flip them over, so it didn't wash all the stain off. I still restained them today. But anyway, I'm getting the underside done first, because I'm staining the underside and the top side, because I don't want to do a floor on this trailer anytime soon. So I am staining and sealing the bottom. As soon as he's dry, I'm going to flip them. And I got all the end grains done, so that way it goes up against the front of the trailer. Once I flip them, then I'll do all the sides. I'm going to do 2 coats on the top. And then, if all goes well, Monday, I'll be putting all these deck boards down. So anyway, all right. Well, again, I'm going to follow up this video as of the other ones with a few pictures. And then we're going to do a walk around when it's all done and show how this thing looks. Like I said, I think for the trade and for the work I put into it, this trailer came out really nice. And you know what? I'm not limited to what I can bring home now. That's the best part. Anyway, all right, well, stay tuned. Keep following. Keep watching for the pictures. And at the end of this will be the final video showing this thing completely done with all the decals on it, tires and rims on it, and ready to haul. So keep watching. All right, my friends, and we have another day. So it rained a little bit over the weekend, so that's to say it kind of messed me up a little bit on my boards, but they're all restained thanks to my wife. I had her do that for me today while I was at work. So I'm going to probably end the video on the walk around I'm getting ready to do right now. And then make sure you hit that notification bell for the second video, which is going to show me putting the lights on, the deck boards on, the reflective stickers on, deck lights, all that good stuff. And the last thing we have to do is build the ramps again. And that's it. But this thing came out really nice. Like I said, all the rust, I got everything all stripped off, all the drums, got all that stuff out of those fins, got it everything cleaned up, painted. Stainless hardware still hasn't shown up yet for that. But this thing came out really good. Super happy with this trailer so far. Steps came out great. Front bar came out great. Got the toolbox mounted this past weekend. Got the winch back on. I got to run the wires inside the box like the other one. Spare tire. That holder actually worked out really nice. This is the one from Amazon. And as you see, lined up pretty good. I think I showed this already in this past video. I can't remember. It was a couple days since I did it, and I was on a hustle, so maybe I showed it, maybe I didn't. I don't know. But anyway, so that worked out good. You know what? I think I did say it in the video. Oh, well, whatever. I'm repeating it anyway. So, long story short, this is going to be a wrap to this video. The next video, like I said, is going to be putting all these deck boards on and getting this thing finally wrapped up. I think those two colors are going to look really good together. And I did stain those on the bottom as well as the top. So that way I know for sure that these boards will last for a little while, because I don't want to replace them anytime soon. Anyway, so hope you guys enjoyed the video so far of the change of this trailer. I think it came out really good. I'm excited to get the lights and the deck boards on next. And as soon as I get these ramps on, man, we can do some tractor hauling again. Looking forward to it. Actually, I'm getting ready to clean up the shop in here. And then I'm getting ready to roll that 300 in here before it gets too cold. And then it'll be a 300 and the Cub sitting side by side. And that's going to be the wintertime projects inside. I wanted to get this done before it got cold. And you know what? Had a couple days where it was kind of chilly. But you know what? I made it. I got it done. That's all that matters. Anyway, hit that notification bell. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share. And after this thing is finally done, since I've been going balls to the wall to get her done, we're going to be on the Cub and the 300. Pretty much, I'm going to say every video from this point forward is going to be on those two tractors for now, because I need to get those done over the winter. So we're back to tractors again now this thing's done, almost. Anyway, hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching, and till next time.